Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
He's really playing. Look at him.
There you go, Billy.
How did you fade out? That was really good.
I got all the
was
equipment
really
here.
good.
I could do anything.
Well, we are back from a hiatus or holiday break. Hello,
Hiatus.
everybody.
Hiatus.
Hiatus. I don't think I've ever met a person named Hiatus or Atus, rather.
Hiatus.
That was really weird. How's everybody's break? Everyone's refreshed, ready to go.
Fucking
Start the
terrible.
new year.
Fucking terrible. They sucked the whole break.
How was
The
your
Rangers?
break?
I know that.
Not the Devils. Not the Islanders. The Rangers. Or the Penguins. All of them. I mean, they're all terrible, but I'm just saying, how was your
Oh,
holiday?
long and relaxing.
There you go.
It was really long. Oh man, I went back to work today and I was all out of sorts. All out of sorts. I should have went back last
Thursday.
week. Did
Yeah, I
you?
worked Thursday.
Yeah, I should have.
Thursday and a half day.
It was good. Thursday and
Friday.
Friday was like spring training for work.
Right.
It was
That
like
was
2
how-
days just to get back in the swing of things, and then
Yeah.
boom.
Yep.
I was telling Lauren. I
agree.
said I should have went back. I should have went back on Thursday and Friday because I was dragging ass today.
And now you just wasted 2 days in the new year.
No. They were carryover from last year. So
Still
I
could have
don't
used them at
technically
any
count
point
those
this
days.
year. Could have used them at any
That's all right.
point.
The kids were off. What was I gonna do? Not be home? That's all right. I'll be home. It was fun.
You would still have been home. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Well,
ASL
that was
check.
that
Get
was
outta here.
not our normal opener for the show. Typically, we do our traditional song as Billy leaves. But
Hi, Bill.
the World Junior Championship, woo-wee, USA all the way back-to-back World Junior Championships for the United States of America.
Did they mention if that's like the first time ever?
Well, that's the first
They
time for
did.
the US for sure. For the
Yeah,
US,
that's what I
for sure.
mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Pretty sure they said like immediately. Like after.
Okay, I didn't have
That's the
the
goal.
volume on. We were watching something
Yeah.
else. And Tom, if I may just hijack the show for a second.
By all means, this is your show too.
Oh, mama, don't you cry! Oh, mama, don't you cry! USA hockey is do or die! USA hockey is do or die! Take a hockey stick in my hand! Take a hockey stick in my hand! And go off to a foreign land! Go off to a foreign land! Coach said I'd be a star! Coach said I'd be a star! And USA hockey will go very far! USA hockey will go very far!
And they cut it.
That wasn't from last night's though.
No, but
There
cut.
was one circling around on TikTok today from last night. I saw that one.
That played the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know you were looking for that. I was tinkering whether to play that or not, but we should have. We should have.
Please. Gives me chills every time I hear it.
I couldn't agree with you more. Big debate. What do you like the 3-on-3 overtime in the World Juniors?
Nah.
Not
I hated it.
not a medal,
No.
not for a medal, not for a championship.
Keep it.
It's a preliminary event thing only.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's
I hear
a
that.
pool play. I agree. You can't decide a gold medal on a 3-3 hockey game where you played 5-on-5 for 3 periods and then just automatically switch to 3-on-3. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I get that the games end quicker, but that game was destined for a couple overtimes last night. And you know what? We all deserved it. We all deserved that game. Yes. But I can't complain too much when we win a gold medal.
No, definitely not.
No. You know, I heard one time that Canada invented hockey, but it looks like the USA perfected it.
Everybody knows this.
Everybody knows this.
Since 1990.
We should put that on a t-shirt.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Could have been millionaires.
So like hotcakes.
That box is still somewhere in existence.
They didn't sell like hotcakes.
I bought one.
Yeah. You might have been the only one.
No, I'm sure Billy bought one. You shoved it right down his throat. How could he not buy one?
I think I waited till they were marked down.
Yeah.
But got one eventually.
So I'm distracted in my peripheral vision tonight.
We'll turn it off.
I got WWE Raw on Netflix, and I gotta tell you, it is phenomenal. If there was ever a night for anybody to start watching wrestling again, tonight is that night. It is. They start off with a banger between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, and it was incredible. Incredible. And now they got the women's title up for grabs. It's just match after match tonight is going to be just insane.
Who was the second guy in the first match? Always Coca-Cola? Because he would be my favorite wrestler.
It's not Solo Sikoa. He has
Sakura.
Yeah. He has the dumbest finishing move in the history of finishing moves. You know what his finishing move is?
People's elbow?
What does he do with it?
Right to your throat. That's his move. And sticks it right in your throat. It's the dumbest.
It'll knock the wind out of you.
It's called the Samoan Spike.
Of course.
It is the dumbest move in the history of moves.
Especially because he's German.
I'm sure you don't want to spoil it for our listener. Who won that match?
Oh, the OTC won the match. He's wearing now the Ulafalo.
The Coca-Cola guy won. Is that what you said?
The taller
What
guy.
language is he speaking? Is this like Skibbity, Ohio or some shit?
Oh, no.
Well, no, I need Ryan for that. I need Ryan to translate all that.
Oh no.
But
are they going to replay it? Can I go in there later and watch it?
I'm sure you can. I'm sure during your work day tomorrow, if you have time, you can watch it during work. Not that you ever would or should.
No, that would never happen.
So, Bill, did we get your opinion about the 3-on-3 overtime? Did you like 3-on-3 in the overtime?
I fucking hate it. It's such an important like do the 3-on-3 in the preliminary rounds or whatever. Once it's like the lose and go home round, like once you're in like the whatever they call it, the playoff, the finals, the semifinal, whatever, it's got to go.
Elimination round.
You just it's like like the NHL does. Regular season they'll run around with their 3-on-3. I don't even like that, but like okay, they're running around with their stupid 3-on-3 in the regular season. But when playoff time comes, when the games mean something, when it's like win or go home, that shit goes out the window. They say no, this can't be decided this way. That's how the juniors should be.
Very rarely agree on something, but we
agree we definitely agree on this, which means that a lot of hockey traditionalists would probably agree with this as well. So listen, we know you're listening. Just take note. That's all we got. That's all we want to say. Just take note. It. No, nobody listen. It was. I could tell you what. It was better than a shootout, by far.
Oh yeah,
by far better than a shootout. But even regular season NHL. Don't go to a shootout. Just let them play 3-on-3 overtime until somebody wins. Someone's going to score. Probably more than likely a high percentage of the time within that first period of overtime. Very rarely would you see some going to overtime. You're just protecting against teams that have to play back-to-back games.
That last minute of overtime is always such a fucking slosh fest. Like nobody wants to lose in that last minute, so nobody wants to even try.
Yeah.
So if you just did it, like you're saying, did it until somebody scores, it would be more nonstop action.
I couldn't agree. I think there should be 10-minute overtime periods before we get to the shootout with 3-on-3. I think a lot more games would be decided.
Or 10 minutes dry scrape, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? 10 minutes, clear the ice, switch sides, 10 minutes.
It's perfect.
I think we've talked about trying to fix overtime before, trying to throw out ideas, but like I would prefer over 3-on-3 if, and I'm not saying this is the answer, but 5-on-5 and fuck offsides and fuck icings and fuck just wide open 5-on-5. I would prefer even more to 3-on-3s.
Do you think there's something else that we didn't think about? So I just thought of something, and as shitty as an idea as it might be, I'm going to tell it anyway.
Oh, good.
Maybe instead of 3-on-3 in overtime, each team gets a power play, and you just keep alternating power plays until you score. If you score on the first power play, the other team will have a chance, like last licks, in order to score a power play goal. If they do, they continue on. If they don't, then the game is over. I've been kind of thinking about that in regards to football a little bit, that each team gets a possession, if you will. But could that be?
That's like what NCAA does in a play.
Do they do that
in overtime?
Yeah.
They start with the ball at the 35. Yeah, they start with the ball at like the 30.
You're talking football. Football. Yeah. Okay. Is it better than a shootout?
It's better than a shootout. It could go on for a pretty long time. If
you're alternating,
you only get
alternating power plays,
trading special teams.
But if you're alternating power plays, I don't know.
What if neither of them score? What happens?
Yeah,
then it becomes sudden death with power plays. 2-minute power play. As soon as the power play is over, whistle blows, center ice face off. The other team gets the power play.
So
it's not a game. It's not a game clock anymore. Now it's just 2-minute power play times at a clip.
Nah, I'm not.
We're getting into hokey things. I get that, but is that at least better than the shootout?
Well, nothing's more hokey than 3-on-3 in a shootout.
But you rarely ever see 3-on-3 in a professional hockey game. It can happen during the regular game. 100% could happen. You'll more than likely see a power play in a game before you see a 3-on-3.
Oh, without
hell, you might even see power plays before you see 4-on-4 in the majority of the time.
You'll see 4-on-3 power plays before you see 3-on-3.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. So why wouldn't that work in an NHL regular season game? At least it's part of the game that you're actually playing. It's none of these special rules and 3-on-3 to give teams extra points for them to make the playoffs. That's probably between the power play and 3-on-3 overtime. That's probably why the Rangers last year won the President's Trophy. And it could be this year why another team gets extra points. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of other things.
Interesting. It's interesting. I don't know.
I just think
like the idea of just a set amount. Like, what if it was you get the power play, and then at the end of the 2 minutes, the fifth guy comes out for the other team, and you play till there's a stoppage.
I'm totally good for that.
And then the other whistle blows. Starts.
The other power play starts. I love it. I love it. And you play that way until you get a victor. I think that has more merit in our game than any of the other things that they're doing or discussing doing.
Because at that, you can get the guy, coming out of the box on the breakaway. That long two-line pass and get that guy coming out on a breakaway. And if that was the first one, that would end the game. You're right.
Then the game
100%. Would be over, right?
That would be so exciting.
Would be exciting.
I don't know. Just a thought.
Food for thought.
Just a thought. Yeah, listen, more things that the NHL can take from our little podcast here is the fucking TV schedule. I, who am a Ranger fan, had to sit through back-to-back games on ABC with the Rangers this weekend. So if I was sick of that, I can only imagine how you guys feel about that. I can't think of a worse way to schedule national TV games than to have the same team play at almost the exact same time in an afternoon game on one weekend. The Rangers aren't that good, and the Blackhawks weren't going to be that good this year either. And I can't understand why they would schedule this game.
In the mid-90s, maybe. Because then Rangers fans who don't live in the New York area might not see their team as much, right?
Okay.
Before all the streaming, there was still NHL, there was still the NHL Center Ice package, but not a lot of people signed up for it.
I agree. I think that was good probably until the second lockout, probably till the 2005 season, where that probably wouldn't have worked anymore. But I get your point 100%. But this was such a bad look from the NHL, which got me thinking a little bit about how the NFL utilizes flex scheduling. I don't think that the NHL can do it in the first maybe month and a half flex schedule, because you never know how a team is going to look. We all buried the Caps in the preseason.
Right.
Now they're number one in the league, which means that they're probably not going to get many primetime games this season. If the NHL could flex the teams that are doing well and might be a really good game, like who knows, you might get a Caps Hurricanes game fall on a weekend where, the Islanders and the Bruins were playing. No, I'm not trying to shit on the Islanders, Nick, but the Caps and the Hurricanes, well, maybe a little. The Caps and the Hurricanes, probably more of an interest for people to watch and probably a better game.
Here's your only problem with that. Those games, the start times of those games are very specific, and they're the only ones that are starting at 12 or 1 on that day.
Okay.
With building availability, I don't know if you can say, hey, Washington, you were supposed to play at 7 o'clock tonight. You're playing at 1.
Don't you think that the schedule, if this was a thing in the NHL and part of the TV, maybe not part of the TV contract, but if they had the ability to do this, don't you think that the schedule makers would try to plan as much for this as they could? And I get what you're saying. On the weekend, you're more apt to have a Ranger Nick game at the Garden.
A concert,
probably
Disney on
probably
Ice.
Probably not a concert and a hockey game or
no, but you're going to have a concert. Day. You're going to have a concert Friday night.
Yep.
You can't get the ice ready by. I don't know if they could get it all ready by Saturday morning.
Look, if they can turn the ice around from basketball to hockey
overnight, though, I'm sure you're talking
in the matter of hours.
I'm sure you're talking overnight. You're talking overtime for those unions.
Okay,
but they could. But everybody could submit. Everybody would be able to say this is negotiable. This is not. In their scheduling. I think they might keep like a fancy database or something that has all that info that they could just reference.
All I'm saying is maybe instead of scheduling one game at 12, you scheduled 4 or 5 at 12, and then flex one of those.
That would be
games.
a better answer. That would be a better solution. Or just don't fucking plan to have the same team play twice in back-to-back days on a fucking weekend nationally. Just do that from the beginning, and your problem is solved.
Yeah,
I don't get it. I get the Rangers Caps game probably looked pretty decent on paper. Rematch of the playoffs last year. I get that, but the Blackhawks weren't going to be good this year, and even if the Rangers
they just won
like they were.
Bedard.
But he sucked in the. Did you even watch the Winter Classic? Yeah, exactly. It happened this week, and nobody fucking watched. Nobody wants to watch the Blackhawks versus the Blues. Are you kidding?
Because it should have been on New Year's Day.
Well, they cannot compete with football, whether it's college or NFL. They can't do it.
There's football on New Year's Eve too.
Yeah, I know.
They got to come up, with a different approach to it. Maybe find a spot that makes sense.
That game often should be the week after the Super Bowl. The Winter Classic.
Can be.
The Winter Classic should be the week after the Super Bowl.
Well, the week after the Super Bowl is typically the All-Star game, so they can't do that.
I thought that was the week before the Super Bowl.
No, it's the week.
Oh,
the
it's the
All
week
Star game
before?
is the week in between.
You're right. I'm sorry. I stand corrected. You are.
So then,
100%
boom,
correct.
you've got 2 out of 3 weeks.
All right.
But
I'm all for it.
At some point, that was what the Stadium Series was supposed to be for too, to do on those weekends.
I feel like they should just go to a pond hockey format for this or something. Just get 2 teams, throw them on like some place that it looks beautiful. It's pond hockey and like
And just no
let them
fans.
play. Yeah,
It would
just let
always
the
be
sounds of the
Canada.
game. Let the sounds of the game and like some actual good announcers. Like
They're never going to do that.
occasionally.
So go
They're
from
never going to turn down 100,000
go
people
from
at the gate.
100,000
They're
to
never going to
nothing.
do that. They're
Yeah,
never
but
going to
that's
do
the
that.
problem. It's supposed
I
to
love
be
the idea, Nick.
because like we're seeing games like Carolina's gonna have a game. Where was the game in Chicago? Was it in St. Louis? Like I don't know. They always put games in weird spots, and like it's like a whole thing to fit it, and like we don't even know it's there. Like just make it like something that makes sense to people. Just be consistent and say, all right, it's every like you said. There's a good idea, Steve. Like a week after the Super Bowl, that's fine. Or like New Year's Day makes sense. Like a day that every year, like we have football on Thanksgiving, right? What about Black Friday? Make hockey on Black Friday. Everyone's home that day generally.
Well, now there's football on Black
there
Friday.
is. Yeah, but hockey was typically always like the afternoon game, 1 o'clock. NBC was
Right.
always like the day after Thanksgiving game.
Right. But
Did they
just
not
having
do
some
that this year?
consistency to it makes sense.
The
It just
Devils
feels
the Devils played an afternoon game. I don't think it was on national TV.
There wasn't a TNT game.
I don't think so.
that
I
fatigue.
love
That's
the
it.
idea of no crowd,
Yeah.
like kind of like they did during the COVID year.
Sure. Like similar to what we did in Utah. They did that
Yeah.
in Salt Lake City, right? I mean, they had challenges because they, for some reason, couldn't understand that, they play
The
at certain
sun.
times. The sun
Yeah.
would just, put glare. But that's because they played in Salt Lake. Like they could have played in, if you pick a place,
No,
that's,
they played
is-
in Reno, didn't they?
Yeah, it was.
wherever it was.
Yeah, it was something. It was
uh,
something like that. Yeah.
But it wasn't a Lake Tahoe.
Or
Was that what
Lake
they played?
Tahoe. Lake Tahoe. Sorry.
Yeah. But if they play somewhere in Canada or that every year has ice, like it's a good place to shoot. You have ample places to find, right? And you can find some picturesque place to go play. Just set it up and make it so that you have boards or whatever you do. It doesn't even matter. You can make shift. You could just be.
I know where they
Alaska.
could do it. Bill just stole my answer.
What?
Mystery
I heard
Alaska.
you more than Bill. What did Bill say?
Mystery Alaska.
Mystery Alaska.
Sure.
That would
There you
work.
go.
That would absolutely work. But they're never. You're gonna see the TV say, "Okay, announcers, shut up for 4 minutes during the game so we can hear the ice or hear the sounds of the game." As they did that in one.
Yeah.
I don't remember when it was when they did that, but they did it, and it was awesome. It was awesome. I think you're going to see that before you see a game with no fans in the stands because they're never going to turn down that gate. It's such now part of their revenue that they're never going to do that. Never.
It would have
they
to
have
be-
to have
Announcers to
something.
Shut the fuck up, though.
Yeah, I know.
Get the
They
announcers to shut
on
their mouth.
occasion they did it.
Be great. It would be great. I agree.
I do agree. But any way that they can incorporate some flex scheduling, so we can
yeah.
get better games on the TV, if it's on the weekend, if it's during the week, whatever, I don't care. Just give us better games. Give us games against teams that are high in the standings to where it's going to be a decently played game. I'm not discounting that the Rangers didn't play well in either of those games because they did. It's just I don't know. People
Well,
don't
let
wanna
me
see the
ask
Rangers
you,
play.
as a Rangers fan, if it was
I don't wanna
not
see
the
the Rangers
Rangers
right now.
on both days, would you watch both days? Or would
This
you maybe
weekend?
watch
Probably
one
not.
day and not the other? See, so
Probably not. I had things I had to do around the house, so I altered my schedule to do those things, to watch the games. If I didn't, I wouldn't have altered my schedule, and I just did whatever I felt like. And then if I was in front of the TV, I probably would have flipped on the game, but I wouldn't have sat and watched it,
right.
the whole thing. There's no way. There's no way. even if Sean McDonough wasn't doing either of the games, which was such a wonderful thing. Bob Wischusen does such a great job for ESPN.
Should be the voice.
Should be the voice. Should be the voice. Or Nick's guy, Brendan Burke. I love either one of those two guys. Would be, if we can't get Gord Miller to come down from Canada from TSN, those are the two guys that are in the U.S. right now. Third place would probably be Kenny Albert, just because he's done it before.
Just so you know, when you said Nick's guy, I thought you were going to say Walt Clyde Frazier. But go ahead.
Why would I say Walt Clyde Frazier?
You threw me when you said the Knicks guy, and I was thinking of the Knicks
guy. The Knicks guy. Yes.
Knicks.
Yes. Mike, let's get Mike Bream while we're at it.
Bang! That's a good one.
Bang! Ding.
Watch from the
dong.
bang, that would be amazing.
Double bang.
Actually, you know what? I stand corrected, Bill. Give me Mike fucking Bream. I'm down for it. I'm all in.
Me too.
A one-timer from Ovechkin. Oh,
come on,
man.
That'd be amazing.
That would be amazing.
That's the crossover
man.
we all need.
Yeah, really.
Mike Bream is just a universal announcer. That's all it is.
Sometimes those calls, man, they just work.
I couldn't agree with you more. All right, let's go. Let's take a ride in the Metro. And unfortunately, Nick, we're going to start with the Islanders.
Oh, I've already fallen asleep thinking about this. Yeah. So where do we start? I feel like this has been I don't know. I've started to throw in the towel this season. It's getting to that point. Not that they had a terrible week or 2 weeks, but nothing changed. It's not getting better, right? And I looked at it, and it's we're a little further along with when Waz's tenure here since last season when he took over. I think it was like 30-something games remaining in the season from Lane Lambert, and this year he's a little past that. We're about one game away from halfway point of the season. But like they play well, then they play like shit, and then it's just inconsistent all the time. But the things that are really consistent, the 5-on-5 is very good. Or it's their bread and butter. They're good on 5-on-5. They play well. They stay out of the box. Both ends. They have a good chance to play against anybody. The goaltending keeps them in the game. Sorokin is back. He's very sharp. Played well. But the problem is they can't do anything as soon as it becomes a 5-on-4 scenario. Either way, power play, penalty kill, we're the worst in the league by multiple points. It's not like half a percentage point. It's multiple percentage points on both sides. It's not. I wouldn't say it's historically bad, but it's really freaking bad. Like 11% on your power play is horrendous, just horrendous. The next team is like 13%. I think it's Boston. Now the Isles have they're the least penalized team, or like one of the least penalized teams, and they'll have one of the number least amount of power play opportunities, but it doesn't matter. It's still we're talking like 90 something, chances on power play. It's not going to change in another 30 or 40. You have the same shitty power play. You have the same shitty penalty kill, and those are just sinking the team. The team is only been a shutout one time this season, surprisingly. And they're like a minus, 20, 30, I think they're minus 20 at this point. Everything else is it looks and smells okay. And they're a middle of the pack team normally. But once you factor in the power play and penalty kill being so bad, literally the worst in the league by a long shot, it just sinks everything the team can do. And so they can't do anything at this point. They're just going to be either where they are, in the last in the Metro, or they're going to be just outside the playoffs, or even make the playoffs in the last wild card. All of those options aren't great because they're all the same place. You're either just outside like a top 5 pick, or you're just making the playoffs and getting bounced in the first round with a team that's aging pretty badly. they have a couple guys that they're going to have to really make decisions on. I think Brock Nelson and Kyle Palmieri, this is the years they can sell them off. This is their last years of their contracts. You got Anders Lee. You got who's got 2 more years, and Pageau's 2 years. So all those guys could potentially, be traded, but it's Lou, and we kind of know that Lou only buys, doubles down, triples down. I don't know. I'm frustrated because as a viewer, 'cause it's hard to watch the team when they're just there's no change. It's like the same team. Like you see them, certain injuries have gone away. They started to come back, healthy. But man, it's like it's brutal to watch when you know what's coming. And the last game I watched was the Bruins the other night. They had a 3-1 lead, got tied up, got back to 4-3, or it was 4-2, then it went to 4-4. Somehow managed to win overtime. Just luck of the draw in overtime, realistically. But it's like the same process we're going to go through over and over and over until either you just end the season in the same spot and maybe they make try to make a trade for somebody to like make the power play better. I don't know what they do there. I think the real answer is that they have to, start selling pieces, get some guys, build around your core players, and start to like retool because you got players that you can build around. Barzal, Horvat, Noah Dobson, Sorokin. You got, we had 2 kids in the U.S. team that just played in the under-18 tournament, and Cole Eiersman and Danny Nelson, or is it under-19? Was it under-20? What is the World Juniors? Under-20? It's under-20, isn't it?
Yeah, 20 yeah.
Yeah, it's under-20. Okay. Anyway, so Danny Nelson and was a center. He played with Cole Eiersman a little bit. They both college kids, and they both they were big portions. Danny Nelson was a big component of that winning team. One of the top 3 players that they named in the the U.S. team named in like their best players.
Don't discount Eierman either. He played really well.
Eierman,
those 2
really
in
well.
particular played really well. I'll give you guys kudos. They played well.
Yeah. And Eierman was playing as like a 13th forward. They had him like mostly power play opportunities, and he played really well. I mean, and there's a lot of future pieces there, like those 2 guys. There was a kid who plays in Finland. They were playing against in the finals. Nurmi, what's his name? Whatever, something Nurmi. I'll come back to it. But hey, guys, they've
We better. I just want to hear you try and pronounce that name. That's all. I'm here for that.
Nurmi.
Jesse Nurmi, yeah.
not gonna work here no more.
So I mean, they got pieces that over time, like Isaiah George has been good this year, and like it was a nice surprise to see him playing well, a 20-year-old defenseman, playing up, and he'll probably play next year at the full season probably. But they got to make some decisions. They got to make decisions about Pelech and Pulak, who clearly have fallen off. Maybe you can still find ways to move them if the price is right. From any team that would take them, they still have the name, and I think teams might look at the Isles and say, yeah, they're still good players, and they're just playing on a bad team, which would be great because that would be a way to jettison those guys who clearly are not living up to their contracts. And I think you got to make some room. You got to make some room, start to retool, and do things like what Washington's done. Washington ate a bad year or 2, and they just all of a sudden the number 1 in the league again. And you're like, none of us saw it coming, but they were able to navigate it. And they didn't sit there and just wait on the same guys. They made moves and they made things happen. And that's what you have to do in this league. You can't. I think the way Lou has looked at it is just starting to really be obvious that it's not going to continue to work, and they have to figure it out because, Wah is not a Hall of Fame coach. I mean, he's no Barry Trotz. Trotz made this group a few years back, obviously, and a couple of different guys, but generally the same team. A few years younger, and he pushed them so much further and harder than where they are now. And it's very obvious to see that the coaching difference that Trotz made is like massive. They win so many of these 1-goal games, and Now it's hard because it's just hard to watch them. And I'm just hoping that they can start to turn the corner, organizationally. I think that's like the new year resolution they have to figure out is what are we going to do with this organization? What are we going to do with Lou? And what are we going to do with Wah?
So I did notice I scroll. I follow Andrew Gross on the X. So I do catch Islander posts a little bit. They move Barzal away from Horvat and Duclair just for change of scenery, change it up, mix it up, type of thing.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they put Barzy to. I mean, they've been changing the lines, but they put Barzy on back to center, which I don't think he is. Honestly, I think he looks better to me as a right wing.
I agree.
Fitting that Kucherov kind of mold. He's not Kucherov, but he frees him up from having to play the defensive role and thins him out, I think. And then he plays much better with a guy like Horvat, who they have good chemistry. He could set him up, and the Duclair Horvat, Barzal line looked really good when they had limited time together. But they're gonna waste another 10, 15 games before they put them back together and go, oh, this works. And you're gonna say, no shit. They had 9 games together before Duclair got hurt, and they were starting to gel and looked solid. It looked like we had a real first line that was dangerous all the time. And
Agreed.
You just need that. You need that. If you have that dangerous line, it makes it very hard for the other team to ignore. You can't just be like, oh, well, they don't have a dangerous line now. They just have Barzy, Horvat, Duclair. Anders Lee is our top goal scorer this year, which he's been playing very well this year. He's been noticeably better and all around, and that's great. But he can't be the top goal scorer. It's got to be Barzy and Horvat. Those two guys got to be the 1 and 2. Lee is not the goal scorer that, he's a goal scorer he should score bunches kind of like Kreider, right? He gets in front of the net, he does all the dirty work, he's in the right spot. Those make sense to me, but he shouldn't be your top point getter. That's got to be Horvat and Barzal. And those two guys, Barzy's been hurt. He's played half the games. Horvat's been, not playing at the same level because he's been playing the same guys. But man, it's rough. It's they got to really figure it out. But I think they have to have some changes coming. That's really what's.
I want Lee as a fucking monster. Tweets coming from you now, Nick. Now that's what I want. That's what I want.
I'll throw some.
Emoji. Don't forget the fire emoji.
Don't forget the fire emoji. Well, listen, much. Where I don't want to step on it. Where was that it, or do you have more?
No.
Okay. Well, much like the Islanders, the Rangers are just in that space at the kind of like the bottom of the Eastern Conference, which they haven't been in some time, and no one can quite figure out why the hell that they're there. It's real simple. The reason why they're there is their power play has gone ice cold. Not even like cold, not even like they know how to fix it. They have gone completely ice cold. Teams have figured out that if you pressure Panarin or Fox, they can't set up their power play and they can't convert. They don't have the threat of Zibanejad on the point anymore or on the dot. They don't have that alternate weapon, and they just, Panarin either tries to shoot and score or shoot for a deflection from either Trocheck or Kreider. The Rangers power play, very, very simple and easy to figure out. And, it all started with kind of Zibanejad's ice coldness in general, playing hockey, not necessarily just a power play. It may have started there, but but in the last couple of games, he has done a lot better, as have Philip Hedl, young Philip Hedl. So in fact, the majority of their offense is coming from their center, which has not happened all season long. For as good as everybody's saying that Philip Hedl is doing, which he is, he's playing on probably one of the best lines on the Rangers, if not the best line of the Rangers. There's Cooley scoring. It's not Hedl who's scoring. It's Cooley who's scoring. So for as good as people have said that Hedl is doing this year when he has played, when, before, that hiatus when he got quote unquote hurt, and quote unquote, he got hurt, right? He didn't play for a couple of games. So it's not quotes, but he didn't get a concussion. he still, he scored in 3 out of his last 4 games. But before that, it was like 3-26. 3-4 is way better than 3-26. I don't care what podcast you on. Billy, check my math.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's a better percent. Yeah, thank you.
Accurate.
Appreciate that. Thank you. But this is looking like we're the Rangers. I mean, they played well in Washington. They played atrocious in the Florida games between the Christmas break, between Christmas and New Year's. And then they didn't play so bad, in Washington. And then they beat just a terrible Blackhawks team. My God, the Blackhawks are just absolutely terrible. They also beat a Bruins team. So they are starting to put W's in the column against teams that maybe they should beat. Not sure they should beat the Bruins, but they played well enough to win. And you gotta take that and you gotta put it in your positive category. I've been so negative with the Rangers for the past, it feels like forever, for the past 6 weeks, that it's hard to find those positives. But they played a really good game in Washington. But it seemed like every mistake they made ended up in the back of their net. Whether it's covering a guy, letting a guy in on a breakaway, not covering a guy in front on a deflection, just every little thing that could have gone wrong, they needed to shore up defensively in order to be more competitive in that game. And they were very competitive. They lost to a really good Caps team, 7-4, really 6-4 with the empty net. But, I'm watching the World Juniors and defenseman Hudson. Is that it? What's Cole Hudson and Ryan Leonard are both going to the Caps, and probably for the playoff run this year, if not the full season for next year. So you add 2 of those guys to this Caps team, it's a dangerous team. And I was thinking about that. If there was ever a time,
here we go.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be one of those. If there was ever a time for the Rangers to trade for Ryan Leonard, it is this year, right now. Maybe not right now, but maybe toward the trade deadline. You give them a piece. Maybe you're sacrificing, dare I say, a Kreider. Dare I say something a little bit more than that. But you dangle that in front of the Caps for the playoff run and the opportunity for them to win a cup, and you get Leonard in return. All I'm saying is, if the Rangers were ever dreaming of a Gabe Perreault, Ryan Leonard in the NHL, this year, as it's turning out right now, is the optimal time to try and trade for a guy like Ryan Leonard. All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. The Rangers, the schedule maker is doing them no favors. They got the Dallas Stars tomorrow night at the Garden, a date with the Devil on Thursday night, and then they do their I don't want to call it Western road trip, but they're in the West. They're out playing Vegas starting on Saturday night, and they will continue in Colorado and Utah next week. But the very important games at home after coming off pretty feel-good games against the Bruins, Caps, and the Blackhawks. If there was ever time to turn your season around, and you're only 4 points behind the Penguins, so it's not like you're completely out of it right now. You're 4 points out from a wild card spot. What do you look at me for? We got 2 games in hand. Well, all we got to do is win those 2 games. It's not likely that we'll win those 2 games.
If you track down the Penguins, it doesn't put you in a playoff spot, is all I'm trying to say. With my weird looks.
Yeah. No, the Penguins are the second wild cards. What are you talking about? Am I not seeing that right? They are a playoff team.
Yeah, sure.
Was I not saying that right?
If the playoffs started today.
If the season ended today.
Right. Wow, I'm not saying that, but you're only 4 points out of a playoff spot. Can I say that at least? Jesus.
You can say whatever you like.
You could.
I'll make
you
whatever
just
faces
did.
I want to make.
God.
You just
Oh
did.
my God. But I don't know. I think we're sellers at this point in the season. It's just what are people going to pay for some of your contracts that you have, and how much you're going to have to retain. I think that's what we're going to have to look forward to for the rest of the season. if they don't turn it around. This is a good week. This next 2 weeks is a good week to turn it around. There's no better time than right now. Billy, Penguins.
There's no tomorrow. Right now.
There is no tomorrow.
Time
It's
for your
everything.
update on the second wild card. Pittsburgh Penguins.
They're in the fucking playoffs.
The best of the teams that we root for that are not making the playoffs right now. It's gonna be quick because if anybody thinks that I've spent my holiday watching this dog shit team, you got another thing coming. They did win one game against the Islanders. They also lost one game against the Islanders, so they split a home and home there. They the last couple of games they played Florida and Carolina. Tough little road trip there, and they managed to come away with a point. I mean, they going to overtime for them. They're not coming away with a second point. It's an absolute certainty. But they did make it to overtime. I guess that's not so bad. That's why they're holding on to that second wild card spot. More interesting for me is the WBS Penguins. They've been taken off recently. 6-game unbeaten streak. 18-8-3 for the season. Those young guys are starting to gel, which for the first time in I don't know how long is pretty exciting. That there's seems like there's a system there. Well, ever since it's been since Mike Sullivan was running them. That the last time they had anything going in Wilkes-Barre or Scranton. The team's playing well. Emil Benstrom, who they picked up from Columbus last season, is leading the team in scoring. Pomeranov that they got from Carolina last year has been coming around. Rucker McGroarty been playing much better of late, as well as Tristan Bras. So some of these guys look like they're itching for a shot at the big time. So who knows who we'll see, when the trade deadline comes around, when the Penguins move whatever they can move out of the way of these guys. I think we've got some exciting young players coming up. In goal, Philip Larson, who's not even their number one prospect down there, is leading the AHL in shutouts. So some good things happening there. To me, it's just a lot more interesting than what the Penguins are doing, and I don't know who they're playing next, and I don't know when. But I really dropped the ball coming into this year with my Penguins coverage. But I just don't want to bore everybody with it, and they're terrible, and the wild card thing ain't gonna last. So that's what's going on in Pittsburgh.
You're such a negative Nelly. You know that?
Oh yeah,
unbelievable. They play Columbus tomorrow. If you care,
I'll watch the highlights. Yeah, for sure.
Steve Devils.
I mean, I feel like I am as depressed as everybody else with this stretch that the Devils have been on. Coming out of the break, the Christmas break.
Good, welcome.
They had a spectacular game against Carolina. They won 4-2. They really played exactly the way you need to play against Carolina, which was, really tight. Don't give up anything. Wait for your chances and capitalize. And then they proceeded to drop 4 straight games. Carolina, Anaheim, LA, and San Jose. They lost to San fucking Jose.
And Anaheim, they suck too.
Yeah.
Terrible.
They have gotten douched a couple of times by the refs during this 4-game losing streak. There has been some very, very bad calls against them. One of them was a game-tying goal that was disallowed due to our favorite call in the world, goaltender interference, leading Stefan Nason to say, I said it early in the season, I'll say it again. I don't know what goaltender interference is, so I'm just going to keep playing the way I play. There's been no secondary scoring during this little stretch here. They lost DeSimone via waivers, and now Eric Holla is going to miss.
We've been in the barrel for so long this year.
And now Eric Holla is going to miss some time with an ankle injury. It's believed to be a couple of weeks. Dowling is going to take his spot for the fourth. All right, I guess I'm done. Tonight versus Seattle, Thursday at the world's most shittiest arena, and then Saturday home finally again versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Just to recap, because they're right about halfway in the season, 1 game over 41. So 8th overall in the league, 3rd in the East, 4th best goals against average, which is amazing. You know, we've said it. If they just get good goaltending, they'll be competitive. 2nd best power play in the league, 5th best PK. But they have played 2 or 3 more games than everybody else in the league.
Stop whining.
I'm done.
Come on, this was so much fun.
Really rude when people do that.
Don't you hate that?
Yeah, good. I'm glad you figured that out, you fucker.
Really rude.
I suck.
Oh, me and Nick can't play this game. That's not fair.
No.
All right, let's go to the weekly WTF.
I spent some time
Where's
with
your,
this.
I know. Where's your PowerPoint?
When
you left,
So
yeah,
you get nothing. You lose. Good day,
Good day,
sir.
sir.
All right, we ready
This
to go?
fitting is it? Did you plan this out?
I did
knowing
not.
that Raw would be on Netflix debuting tonight?
What an amazing coincidence! That is great,
Phew.
isn't it?
Man.
But I had saved for the final week. The thing that got this whole thing started was Kelly and oh my God, why am I not thinking of her name right now? The really hot one. So
Sabrina
Oh,
Carpenter.
really hot.
we are back.
Carpenter.
And here's all of our round 2 winners. We'll see them all, in the coming weeks again as we continue to break this down. But it is Stacy Keebler versus Kelly. So this is the thing that got it all started. This way back when I was making the Kelly reference because Ivan made his NHL debut. This all ties back to hockey, obviously.
Of course, like everything else in this world.
So this week we are doing in honor of Netflix having a WWE Raw. We've got Kelly versus Stacy Keebler. So here is the first slide with Kelly. And we ready? We're ready to move on to the next.
And
I'm always ready for pictures of Stacy Keebler.
And there's Stacy Keebler. Yeah.
I have a feeling like Twitch is going to have a problem with this slide.
Why?
There's nothing.
There's nothing
I
wrong
agree.
with this slide.
I agree.
These are modeling photos.
Screw you, Twitch.
Yeah, I can't see how Twitch would have a problem with Stacy Keebler's ass.
Who would? Who
I
possibly would?
I
don't.
Can we go back again?
We can go back again.
Can we go,
We can go
forward
back and
again?
forth. You guys let me know when you want to go on to the final thing. There's no rush. There's no rush here.
And forward.
Kelly, forward. That's Stacy Keebler.
And back again.
Back again. Yeah, we can go back again. There's Kelly.
And forward.
Forward. I feel like I should just shut the fuck up too while we're doing this.
We're just gonna do this for a couple hours.
And now we're doing the cha-cha.
And now we're doing the cha-cha.
I'm gonna go first because I think everybody knows what my answer is going to be. Stacy Keebler, because she is, as you guys used to say, she's very fudgy.
She's fudgy.
She is fudgy.
Nick?
I'm gonna go Keebler too, man. Keebler Elf over on this side. She was I don't actually know Kelly too well, but Stacy Keebler, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah,
on.
look at
It is once again something we can all agree on. Stacy Keebler. For
Yeah.
sure.
It really had to be. I mean, nothing against Kelly.
No. She
Just
toughest first round
level.
matchup. Hands down. This is like the 7-8 seeds meeting for sure.
That's it. Yeah. All right. So I actually have more.
Stacy, just so you know, I would never ever put you as a 7th or an 8th seed. I know you're going to listen to this. I just want you to know that.
I'm sure
Bill
she feels
did
the same about
that.
you.
Bill Fougere did that. Cross him off your list.
Well, these aren't
yeah.
really. I didn't really see these. per
No,
se.
no.
Oh, whatever.
No.
Cross him off your
You
list.
nodded.
Her list. Her list is
Uh,
already laminated, Steve. She's good.
Oh, fuck. You're lucky.
So I do have more slides this week because I just wanted to kind of go and sum up the. Well, unfortunately, we're going to the NFL season.
Well, that's
So
Why do wait? How do we?
not how
Why
I
are we
had
going
it
to talk about the
planned.
Jets?
What?
Why are we going to talk about the Jets?
this is so such a good example of the organization to bring out a flag on the field and have it look so small.
And
Wait,
it's
this actually
honestly
happened?
upside down. This really happened
yes.
yesterday. They brought the flag out, and it was turned the wrong way. And there's like 250 of them there that any one of them, I guess, could have said, "Hey, guys, is this upside down?"
Well, what you don't
They
see
fixed it.
is actually Woody is laying on the 15-yard line. He just wanted to be able to read it.
Are you sure that Woody's son didn't actually tell them the direction to put this in?
Well, so the Jets season ended 5-12. And I just wanted to kind of go, I mean, disaster. Their keys to the offseason, 7th pick in the upcoming draft.
Okay.
They need
You
a
won
coaching
5
staff.
games? That's great.
I know, isn't that amazing?
Congratulations.
That's
Oh
way
my
more than I thought.
God.
I mean, there were some teams that really tanked for them, but yeah, they took the wins. So they need I don't know how you get in the draft. I don't know how you get a coaching staff, a GM, and an owner in the draft.
Mm.
That's really what they need.
You usually
but
wait till the
Jesus
third round for those.
But they interviewed everybody except for us for the fucking head coaching job. Holy did you see the list on Twix today?
Oh,
Jesus
well, I mean,
Christ.
To be fair, I told them I don't want it.
To be fair. Did you? Maybe that's why they didn't ask the rest of us. But Rex Ryan. Yeah.
Sexy Rexy.
Spoiler alert. Jeez, we have a slide coming.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
Quarterback, obviously, with Aaron Rodgers playing one of his best games as he, finished with the Jets. Is like so that everybody could go, hey, where was that? But again, Miami was just tanking that game. They came into the game thinking they might have a chance at the playoffs. They saw Denver beating the snot out of Kansas City. They just fucking gave up. And edge rusher, because we went ahead with the Jets. The Jets signed Hassan Reddick, famously a few weeks into the season. Once the season was over, and he did absolutely nothing. So they have him locked up, which is great. The disgruntled guys on the Jets, Garrett Wilson and Sauce, they've been around for 3 years of this shit now, and they're disgusted. They're not targeting Garrett Wilson enough, even though he caught over 100 passes. And so I think the trick is for the Jets, they got to figure out a new way to lie about how things are going to get better and somehow have people believe it. There are people in the media who actually thought that the Jets were going to the great deep saucer this season. I won't say the word. See, there you go.
Oh.
What? The Super Bowl?
Doesn't matter. I can't.
We're live. We're live. So the Pats lost the first overall pick yesterday by beating the Bills in the final game of the season. They were going to get the number 1 pick overall. They lost that by beating the Bills. And then Robert Kraft immediately fired his coach. You know why? Because he wants to make sure that anybody interviewing for the Jets coaching job knows that his, that position's available. And if you had a choice between coaching one of those two teams, obviously you would pick the Patriots, who have a quarterback, who have some things, But so that happened also. And then, of course, the one candidate I'm sure that the Patriots are not going to consider is Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan actually believes that he's going to be the next coach of the Jets. I saw that today.
This is what Bill, you win PowerPoint. This is like one of my favorite slides ever.
Oh,
Tom's a creep. Tom is a weirdo.
Perfect.
Where does he come up with this shit? It's so disgusting.
And lastly, I know we got a lot of Giants fans out there, so I just do want to finish up with the blue Jets. Malik Neighbors, man, what a season that guy had. he was going back and forth with the rookie record. He at some points yesterday had the rookie record for receptions. I don't think he finished with the record. I think somebody else was passing Powers. But 1,200 yards, missed 2 games, by the way. 1,200 yards, 109 receptions. Just, I mean, he's the best player we've seen in this play in that stadium probably ever. I mean, in MetLife
rookie
era.
As a rookie.
As a rookie, yeah, I would say that.
Yeah. So very exciting that they have him, but they did finish 3-14. Franchise record with 14 losses. Third pick in the upcoming draft.
I just don't understand how you fucking beat the Colts. I don't understand.
Imagine for the Colts. The Colts had a chance at the playoffs.
Oh, my neighbor's a Colts fan, and I just berated him.
It's just going great.
Oh, I like that one.
You guys both hated yourselves after that game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and their needs in the draft are everything except for receiver 1. Disgruntled. There are none of them that are good enough to be disgruntled. I mean, how they are all just grateful to be on an NFL team at all, even if it is the Giants. And their trick is to keep up the illusion to their fan base that, like the New York Yankees, their past success makes them somehow better than their same market rivals, even though their organization is somehow an even bigger shit show. So that is your NFL off season. In your mom's box.
Yeah, that was ooh. Thanks for that.
Not great.
Now I'm depressed. This is why we don't talk. This is why we shouldn't talk about football. Yeah, could you please? This is
anytime Tom's depressed, it's a winning night.
Yeah. All right, let's go to this date and Steve's stomach.
That feels bad.
This one's gonna bring us to year 2020. Start of COVID.
Pandemic.
2020.
Pandemic era.
Yeah. So let's go to July 21st in the year of our Lord 2020.
In the middle of the pandemic. July.
By the way, Rhea Ripley beat Liv for the women's championship.
Thank God.
Yes, thank God. And then Dirty Dom went to go back to get back with Rhea Ripley, and she kicked him in the nuts, as she should have.
And then something stupid must have happened, like the Undertaker came out.
He did. After when she was running back, she came out. I mean, listen, you gotta go watch wrestling. It's worth it.
Breakfast was a Belvita pack and a Coke Zero can. Lunch, two chalupas. Those are two beef supreme chalupas. And a can.
Did you accidentally get mistaken and get chicken chalupas?
No.
Have you? No. That's never happened to you. It's happened to me, and the chicken ones are not bad.
But it's not the ground beef.
No. Listen, I get it. I understand. But if you're looking, you're on a diet, you're on something like that. The chicken ones, they're pretty good too.
Yeah, if you're on a diet, you're not going to fucking Taco Bell, stupid.
Oh, what is that right?
What was that word? What the fuck is a diet?
Afternoon snack was Nick's namesake, some Doritos. Dinner, ham and Swiss from our very own favorite deli around the corner, Tasty Subs. Mayo, lettuce, and chips on the side, and a can of Coke Zero. Tom, why did you pick July 21st in the year of 2020?
We were in New Jersey for the Christmas break, and it was mandated that we get Tasty Subs one day. So I took my lovely wife, and we actually ate at Tasty Subs. It was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. Yes, 100%. I guess I should have started to share this earlier, but I didn't.
Which location?
Well, I suck.
I did Tasty too because I had to go to Kendall Park to pick up things that I forgot.
Gotcha.
At Steve's house after our Christmas night.
I suck.
I got a wonderful picture of our own sadly loser Tate McRae, and boy, oh boy, woo! So, which actually before we get into this, they have blocked porn websites in Florida now that you have to provide your photo ID and all that other shit, which really puts a damper on things.
All you need is your ID.
Jersey.
All you
Relax.
Oh my god, I was nervous
Yeah,
for a
but
minute.
I don't want to.
my friend.
No, I mean,
Nothing.
they all have my social security
I
number
do get
already
nothing.
anyway. In my bank account.
No, so I already let my wife know that she has to step in and help out maybe a little bit more. That's all.
Okay, terrific.
Exactly.
There you go.
Well, listen, on July 21st of 2020, this guy in Orlando, Florida, just decided to block traffic and do this.
Need to
After
open the
this
door to
commercial.
more home buyers?
Oh,
Hyper target
my
home
God.
buyers in your area. down
Well,
to the
listen,
zip.
we are now
Learn
sponsored
how
by
Flex Data-driven
Flex
ad
Data,
solutions can drive home buyers to your real estate business.
flx.com.
Connect with Flex.com.
Connect with
That's how he was stopping traffic?
He was doing cartwheels in the middle of the street. What the hell kind of shoes does he have on?
He doesn't have laces. That's so the tongue is.
No, they're like Velcro. In front of a garbage
Yes.
truck, just let him over.
Isn't covering his nose.
No,
Yeah.
it's that. Well, he was outside.
and it was Florida, so
Praise God, he did the sign of the cross. Thank God. Now, what's he gonna do now? He's gonna lay down. Was he protesting the garbage truck? Is that what he was doing?
you said he blocked traffic.
I mean, that's blocking traffic. Oh boy,
He's in a parking lot.
there's a camera on you.
They're doing it.
Don't do anything stupid.
Like a cartwheel.
Where'd he go? Is he on the other side? Did they hit him
Just
with the
another
billy
case
club?
of the black cops using excessive force against the white dudes.
Oh, they look
I
like
don't-
they're
I don't-
cuddling.
I don't think that was a white dude, Bill.
He's whiter than that
Just
guy.
throwing it. Well, I think that's a woman. First off,
The cartwheels is a woman?
No,
no,
the cop.
the police officer.
No.
No.
What do you mean no?
Yeah.
That's a woman?
No.
Yeah.
Look at those cats. There's no way that's a woman.
Well, it's wearing a mask, so I can't tell you.
40-year-old man.
But yeah, he was charged with battery on a law enforcement officer and was arrested. Just no fucking particular reason, just decided to do cartwheels and lie
and
down
not
the middle of
even
the road.
good ones.
Oh, that was a Wawa. So that was like a Wawa parking lot.
That's what you do, man.
An idiot.
He was just happy he finally got Wawa.
They do have the best coffee. I will say that.
Good coffee.
Way
Good
better
coffee.
than Quick Check. I'm not a fan of the Quick Check coffee though.
I used to be not coffee, because I don't drink coffee. We all know this. But in general,
Oh, no.
I was a much bigger Quick Check fan than I was a Wawa fan. And I have completely done a 180 on that.
What was there anything specific that made you like Quick Check more and then made you change your mind? I'm very interested.
Its proximity to me wherever I was, I think, was what it was.
Oh.
I just grew. We didn't have Wawa in Piscataway when I was growing up, and we didn't have one nearby until at least the last 5 to 7 years.
They opened up the one.
No, that Quick Check on River Road was there for like ever.
Yeah, no, I'm saying Wawa.
Yeah.
I wasn't around a Wawa. I mean, even when we lived in the condo, there was one pretty close by, but we would never go there. There was one at
We were Krausers. Krausers was always the closest one to us. So we would go to Krausers. We'd ride our bikes to Krausers in Metuchen. That was where we used
by the
to
train
go.
tracks.
Yes, it was Hubbard's Cupboard before it was Krausers. True story.
Nick, what was your convenience store of choice?
Quick Check was Wawa, and then when Quick Check opened up in Hillsborough, like right across from the Wawa, it was by far better. Like the Wawa there was like a shit Wawa.
Okay.
And like I would go there sometimes for breakfast on the way to like go into the city, but it would take so long to make a goddamn sandwich that I almost missed the train a few times, and I was like, never again. And then they go to Quick Check if I stop there for anything, it would be just for coffee. But their coffee, they had so much of a selection. They had like it was much cleaner, bigger. So I was big on that. And then when we were down in South Brunswick for a bit, when they opened the Wawa by you guys, I started going back to there, but there's not really a Wawa. There's not really a Quick Check down here. So Sheetz is like the closest thing, and it's like not really a competitor of any kind, as Billy can attest to.
Billy is, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you say Sheets?
Sheets.
It's
SHEETZ.
dog sheets. Dog sheets. That's what they should name it. It's like
You don't have a
Waffle
Bucky's.
House
You don't have a
of-
Bucky's near you.
No, thank God we don't have a Bucky's near us yet. Like that's like the Walmart of gas stations, man.
They are building the largest Bucky's in the United States in Ocala, Florida, which is a mere 75 miles to the north of where I am.
This is
You can just drive there.
great.
Go there.
Well, I've never
There's
been
no
to a
trip.
Bucky's, so I
It's
do want to experience it one
75
time.
miles away. That's not around the corner.
Go. Just go to
You should
Bucky's
go.
anyway.
Yeah,
It's
go.
amazing.
Compared to where the closest one is in Jacksonville right now, it is.
Now,
There's-
there's a sign on the New Jersey Turnpike up near me that says Bucky's is 580 miles that way. So I don't know why they have a sign there, because for drumming a business.
No,
I'm
they
hoping it
don't.
means that they're like trying to get their name out there because they're going to put one somewhere
Maybe.
Wait, are you-
nearby.
Were you saying that just a joke, or were you serious?
No, there
Yeah.
is. There is
Oh,
a
there is.
billboard. Yeah.
Come on.
Well,
Yeah.
New Jersey's
Like some
kind of-
jackass just put it out there?
It looked like Bucky's did. It looked like it was like an official, like it had their logo on it and everything. Yeah, like their little
shit.
mascot.
Well, I always hear wonderful things of Bucky's. I want to experience it. So maybe one day. Maybe one day. I don't think we had anything else.
No.
You guys have anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Go to bed.
Me
Good
neither.
time. Good time.
Yeah, I was dragging ass. Like, all right, well, that's going to do it for us this week. Thanks for everybody who watched us on the YouTube and the Twix, or the Twitch, rather, not the Twix, and even on Facebook for people who found that link. Thanks for stopping by and making us part of your Monday evening. We will be back next week with more hilarity and good talk and some ideas about how to make the NHL better. Take that and run with it, everybody else. Billy, say something, Woody.
Go after yourself, Sheets.
Okay, terrific.
Wow. Oh, my God. I wasn't even prepared. But now I am. So, bye. Oh, shit.
Fly as fuck, fly as fuck.